So I would say that there are probably not any services that are fit for all. We spend a lot of time in our work talking about social justice, talking about ensuring that each victim's experience is honored and each survivor's needs are met. And that requires us to be agile in our responsiveness. And it also continues to remind us that those implicit biases sneak up in the most inopportune times, in very odd places as well. And so we have to remind advocates that we're human beings. And human beings mean that we have those implicit biases as well. And quite frankly, if we're all honest, there are always things that we have judgments on. And so for me, we are working towards saying and owning our own biases and owning that each of us have judgments, because the sooner we own them, the more likely it is that survivors' needs are met. And that's, I tell people all the time, it's hard to speak around congruence, but we are not one-dimensional human beings. We have the capacity to hold many truths. And so what I'm asking people to do is hold the truth that we're human being, and to hold the truth that we also at the same time are compassionate and empathetic and committed to ending sexual violence. And so we have to do both of those to ensure that our services are not just accessible, but actually meet the needs of those survivors. And so the way that we are working towards ending and addressing sexual violence at the North Carolina Coalition Against Sexual Assault is by holding true to what we know to be true. And that's human beings are absolutely prone to mistake. We are a judgmental society. And if we don't own that, then we can't meet the survivor who's at the end of the call, who's sitting at the desk in front of us, who's in the hospital room while we're holding their hand and helping them understand the process they're about to go through. We too have to check ourselves at the door, and that's nearly impossible. And so the things that we can check at the door, we'll leave that baggage there, but the things that are intuitive to who we are will come with us when we're working with survivors. And this work is really about holding our own selves and our own truths while holding the survivor's truth as well. And I think that that's hard, and we don't often talk about our own truth, but we come to this work either as survivors, whether that's directly or indirectly. And so we're holding our own stories when that survivor is sharing their stories. We're holding our stories when we're talking about how to prevent first-time perpetration. And I believe I'm giving permission, the coalition is giving people permission to be who they are and to bring out the best in them. And so we're working towards saying, I am who I am, and all the things that come with me are who I am. But what I do know is that I care about people, and I care about humankind, and I care about people living their best lives. And so that means that in order for me to live my best life, in order for me to be a part of ending sexual violence, that we also have to be true to who we are and check those things and learn who we are before we work with any survivors. And I'm calling out a big question for the folks who are working with NC CASA and working across this globe, is that we like to pretend that we are just here one-dimensionally as an advocate, and we're not. And so the new ways in which we'll do our work is to own our own truth while we hold those survivors' truths true to who we are in this work. And at that time and in that space, we'll be able to have services that meet the need of every survivors. And also at that time, and I do believe we have the ability to prevent sexual violence in this world, not just in this country, but we have to acknowledge why sexual violence happens and why we allow it to continue to happen. And that's the work that we're here to do, is to prevent it and to prevent first-time perpetration. We must own who we are and our own stories and address them accordingly.